Alright, Ronan MMA, welcome back to the channel. Now, Islam Makhachev has came out and said that he believes the reason Alexander Volkanovski was still the number one pound-for-pound fighter, even after his defeat of him at UFC 284, was due to Russian bias at the UFC or by the media members or whomever. Now, he went full key on Kimura, and that's okay. We're going to talk about it. I don't like that stuff gets brought into MMA whatsoever, so I want to talk about it no matter what color you are. But before we do, please like and subscribe. I'm going to thank you in advance. Thank you very much for your subscription. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now subscribe, please, because I'm Canadian, and don't be the kind of guy that doesn't do the thing that he was already thanked for. Okay, now, Islam Makhachev, like I said, came out and said that he believes that the reason why he is not ranked number one pound for pound is because he is Russian. I gotta be honest, I thought that of all the people that would be complaining about something like this, Russians would be the last ones that I would hear it from. And I'm not condemning all Russians. I'm not even if you're Russian and you believe that that's the case, tell me in the comments why you think that. And I don't think that the whole Russia-Ukraine conflict is enough, because unless you have the IQ of like a 10-year-old, even a 10-year-old, maybe like a 7-year-old, the Russian fighters have nothing to do with what is going on there, and I think the vast majority of people are completely aware of that. And I really don't like that moments that have legitimate arguments and debates and discussions, that it's essentially the race card just gets thrown out there. Like Tyron Woodley saying that he's getting mistreated for being black, when there are a bunch of other factors that you could look at before you jump to that conclusion, and you just ignore all of them. It is extremely frustrating, and that's basically what Islam Makhachev has done. Like, if Islam, I get that his English isn't as good as us, obviously, or even as Tyron Woodley, so maybe he's not able to like grasp these concepts in English, and someone would have to explain it to him in Russian in depth, which might not, I don't know how that would work. But the pound for pound ranking is like, we all know what it was made for, right? Like, if somebody who were in completely different weight classes were the same size, who would win? If Alexander Volkanovski was 5'10" with the same reach and weighed in the same, not the day before, but the day they stepped into the cage. Like, for instance, if Dustin Poirier fought Islam Makhachev, that would be like a pound for pound fight. They are like almost dead even in size, height, weight, before and after weight cuts, or before and after weight cuts, right? And I think that's what a lot of people that's the conclusion I came to. I went, Jesus fuck, if Volkanovski was a little bit bigger and was like a natural lightweight, he runs that division forever, because that's like, he's the only guy who has done what he did to Islam Makhachev, and he's a featherweight. And I get that he's not just a featherweight, he's Alexander Volkanovski, but the fact remains, he is a natural featherweight. At least in terms of the sport, like, you know, with weight cutting and all that stuff. But it's pretty simple to tell, like, on weigh-in day, who's bigger and who's smaller. Because Islam Makhachev looked like a homeless crackhead, completely sunken in, dead, looked dead, right? You could tell that he had cut a fuck ton of weight, whereas Volkanovski looked pretty goddamn good, man. Which means Volkanovski cut way less weight. Which means they are not really pound for pound. So there's arguments to be had here. And with Tyron Woodley, it was similar. Like, is it because you're black, or is it because you are absolutely refusing to engage with your opponents and you are just doing enough to skate by with decisions, And yes, I know that Izzy fans and stuff like that. Well, and I can understand it. If you're the champion, why would you not fight safer? Like John Jones too, even. Because there's millions of dollars at stake, right? If you get a cut of the pay-per-view, that's a huge deal. You get sponsorship deals from outside the cage, because that still happens for those of you who think that Bellator is like the only place that gives their fighters sponsors or whatever. In cage, yeah, but they all get super famous and get sponsors outside of, at least the champions do. Like, do you think Max Holloway doesn't seem like he's in rush to fight? I know he has a fight booked, but he took a good chunk of time off after that Volkanovski fight because he's made a ton of money. Israel Adesanya's made a ton of money. And these are guys that are not even close to the level of Conor McGregor. They made a ton of money. They're good, dude. So I could understand somebody fighting safe. But then when you see a guy like Robert Whittaker, who goes out there and defends his belt the way he does and then gets knocked out, it's like shitty because he lost his belt, obviously. And maybe he would have liked to have remain a little safer. But for the fans, it's like, goddamn, what a fucking warrior. You know? And that's what people respect a lot of the time. Which I get the fighters shouldn't even care about because it's their bag. Like, you know, let them get it. But Tyron Woodley, it's like, was it that or is it you being an asshole to Wonderboy, the only guy to ever be an asshole to Wonderboy, like, and unironically too, not joking around, like you were trying to legitimately be an asshole? Or is it because you're just arrogant as fuck? Like, there are so many things that come before your skin color. I'm sick and tired of people assuming that everybody has this like inner fucking racist demon that comes out when they see a Russian fighter or a black fighter or a fucking Brazilian fighter or any dude. Brazilian fighters are some of the most like beloved fighters by fans. They're Portuguese. They're clearly not white. I don't know if you've noticed. They've got tons of different ethnicities or races, I guess. I don't fucking know, dude. You got Anderson Silva, who looks like a black man, and then you've got Lyoto Machida, who looks like he's from Japan. They're both Brazilian. They're both loved by the fans, almost universally. I haven't met a single person who says anything bad about either of those fighters, besides fighters that got beat by those fighters. But Islam's just done a Tyron Woodley here, where there's arguments as to why Volkanovski remains pound for pound. And instead of looking at those or assessing those or saying, I guess I could see why some people might say that, rematch so I can finish him and then 100% on pound for pound, he goes, oh, it's because I'm Russian. Shut the fuck up, bro. And he brought up the Magomed Ankalaev one, which, shut up. Shut your fucking mouth. This bullshit, dude. Magomed Ankalaev did not lose that fight, or it wasn't a loss. He got a fucking draw. And it had nothing to do with him being Russian, bro. Nothing to do with him being Russian. That fight was scored correctly. Okay? Jesus fuck, man. It's so annoying. And then he also brought up Petr Yan with Sean O'Malley. Bro, they were in Abu Dhabi. Man, I could be wrong, but Abu Dhabi doesn't seem like a very Western, they don't seem very accepting of Western values. Now, I could be wrong. Let me know if I am. But when I think of Abu Dhabi, and you line up two men, and you line up a stoic Russian with a clean fucking haircut, right? Clean shaven face, tight guard, looks like a psychopath killer with dead eyes. And then you line up a kid with rainbow hair and 6'9" tattooed on his body. You tell me who Abu Dhabi likes better, huh? Huh? What, you think they like the rainbow hair got better? I think that the people of Abu Dhabi look at Sean O'Malley and go, Jesus, yeah, this is Western society. This is why we're where we are. I think that that's what they think. And I think that the fight got scored correctly. I know that might be still a controversial take. But, dude, I have to keep the same energy. I don't give Islam round 4 against Alexander Volkanovski because Volkanovski dished out more damage. I give 2 rounds to Sean O'Malley because he dished out more damage. With all due respect, if you disagree, that's fine. That fight is more hotly contested than this one, I believe. Or more debatable for either guy than this one. But it ain't got nothing to do with Petr Yan being Russian. Okay? God, it's fucking frustrating. I am sick of this shit being brought in MMA. Get the fuck out of here. I thought Russians were like anti-woke, and now you're claiming racism? When you're hey guy, you're white. And I know you're from a part of the, like, dude, do you think that every single fucking media member is Ukrainian or some shit? What? Huh? God damn. Or do you think that every single media member thinks that you have anything to do with it? Like, what? Bro, the media would still, if Habib showed up to a fucking pre-fight press conference, they would be riding his nuts. Okay? They'd be... That's what they'd be doing. And it's fucking annoying. These are the last group of people I would expect it from. Now, I could understand them maybe being a little frustrated with, like, the way that American media is covering the situation, but I mean, every country has propaganda on, like, you know what I mean? I take what I see on media, like mainstream media, with a grain of salt, and it's like, okay, well, that's one way to look at it, I guess. You know, so, and I'm pretty sure, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but the reason why fighters don't walk out with flags anymore, like all fighters, not just Russian fighters, was because ESPN and Disney were trying to pressure the UFC to make it so that Russian fighters could not walk out with their flags. And I'm pretty sure that Dana White went, no, that's fucking retarded. We'll ban them for everybody. Which is unfortunate, and it would be more unfortunate if they took it away from just one group of people. So I'm glad that that was the decision that got made, as opposed to only Islam or Pyotr or fucking, you know, those guys not being able to walk out with them. But somebody correct me if that's wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that's my understanding of how that whole situation went, because it was right around the time the Russia-Ukraine conflict started that the fighters could no longer walk out with flags. And it pisses me off, dude. I love watching Max Holloway fucking skip out with the Union Jack flying behind him. So cool. But Russian people, when I think of Russian people, are hard men. That's what I think of. I think of hard, stoic men. Okay? I'm half German, so not the same, but my grandfather is very stoic. A hard, stoic man. Okay? That's what I think of when I think of Russian people. Or at least Russian fighters. And I don't ever look at somebody and blame them for who their world leader is. That would be insane. I hate the leader of my country. Imagine if I walked around just fucking hating every person because I went, you've got no fucking clue whether or not Sean O'Malley or Pyotr Yan or Magomed or fucking Habib or any of them had any, like, even liked their president or their whoever. And I don't think that people are dwelling on that. I don't think that media members are sitting there looking at Islam while he's in the post-fight press conference. Looked like he just got the shit beat out of him when Alexander Volkanovski rolls up with fucking 1 or 2 cuts and the rest a clean face. And I don't think they're sitting there thinking, like, fuck this guy. He probably fucking voted for... Like, first of all, know your geography. Like, you know, they're not really... They are a republic of Russia, I'm pretty sure. But I don't think they're... I don't know, man. Whatever. Fuck off, dude. As I was saying, Russians, when I think of them, are hard, stoic men. So I don't want to hear you crying racism. It's annoying, dude. Shut up. Fuck off. Keep that shit out of the sport. This is like the last sport where there's not woke bullshit everywhere. Keep it the fuck away, please. I mean, this video has very little structure, but it just fucking bugs me. Like, I'm rambling, essentially, but this drives me crazy. I can't stand it. I can't stand it when black people do it, white people do it, Asian people do it, any of them. Shut your fucking mouth. Shut up. It's so annoying, dude. Deal with it. You fucking should have lost that fight. You got a decision. Great. You got a belt and fucking a bunch of money. Good for you. You don't get the number 1 pound for pound spot, and it's got nothing to do with your ethnicity, motherfucker. Okay? The media members deciding who's pound for pound are not Ukrainian. So get fucked. Jesus. I don't even know if I have anything intelligent to say. I'm just rambling at this point. But it has been a slow news week, and I watched Ragnar's death speech when I woke up from Vikings, the TV show, and it fires me up. And then I saw this, and I go fucking irritated by it, dude. Because it's one thing to have a guy like Keon Kimura saying this dumb fuck shit. But a guy like Islam Makhachevs, that is like, come on, dude. Come on, dude. Keon Kimura looks like a little bitch. And he's from Canada. I don't know what province he's from, but that means that he's more likely to be a little bitch than other people. And I'm Canadian. And that's just the way she goes, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. He's a little bitch. But when I think of Russian dudes, I'm like, they're not little bitches. And then Islam Makhachev says, hold my furry hat so I can be a little bitch. It's annoying. That's it, dude. I'm rambling at this point. But there's no fucking bias towards Russian. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Like and subscribe, and thank you very much in advance for doing so. See you later. Also, if you're Russian, don't be fucking offended, dude, because I don't have a bias towards you, and I don't think anybody else does. I'm saying these 3 guys, and specifically, shoot the fuck up. You are not being targeted. Okay? So, chill. Like and subscribe. Thank you in advance. I'll see you later.